So how many of you wanted to spend your New Year's Eve maybe somewhere in Paris or London or Miami or Tulum, but couldn't do it because you had responsibilities from your parents or from your school or from your job? And then how many of you wanted to be a chef, an artist, or a doctor, but couldn't do it because you had different responsibilities in your life? What if I told you you could do it while you were sitting in your home, in the comfort of your home, or in the comfort of your work, and have this same enjoyment and same experience without that? 10 years ago, this would sound like a mad dream or a far-stretched vision that could not be possible. But today, this is not the same. Today, we are living in the world of the metaverse. So just to give you a quick background about myself, I'm a parallel entrepreneur, angel investor, honorary doctorate in blockchain. I started in the technology space since pretty early on. When I was 13 years old, I was the first 100 guys to build apps for the iPhone. I built about 30 apps when I sold my first company at 17. And this really made me understand that technology, unlike most other businesses, grows exponentially. Most businesses grow 20, 30% linearly over a year. Technology grows exponentially. Once you reach this J curve, you see maximum growth that you would not see in any other industry. This made me realize that technology has massive potential to grow in the future, so I kept my focus back into technology and kept investing and building in more companies. I got exposed to Bitcoin first in 2014 when Coinbase was giving out $5 in Bitcoin to refer new users. By this time, I'd already gained quite a few following. I had already spoken at a bunch of events all over the world, so I had a few 100,000 followers. I was like, let me capitalize on that. So I referred a lot of people to Coinbase to sign up. Every single individual who I referred got paid $5 in Bitcoin. Today, each of that $5 is worth over $500 thanks to the exponential growth that Bitcoin showed, and that is possible because of technology. The idea behind this is that Bitcoin and technology is the future, and you can see that when you see the growth happening. So I really got involved in the space as an active entrepreneur in 2017 when I invested in a lot of different companies early on. I was an early investor in Hedera Hashgraph, XRP Ripple. We took these companies from 10 million valuation today to a multi-billion-dollar market cap. Then, but in the last 2021, I invested in about 250 crypto startups just in the last year, advised about 10 to 12 of them that we took to market and delivered 50 to 100x returns for our investors very early on. I write for Forbes, Entrepreneur, Cointelegraph, a lot of different publications about this. Investing and advising in these companies made me realize early on what is the world that we're going to live in and what this world is going to look like. So to give you an idea, most of you know Facebook changed its name to Meta. Facebook also owns WhatsApp, also owns Instagram, arguably two of the most used apps on the planet right now. Why do you think they changed their name to Meta? It's because that's where our attention is going to be in the future. And where attention goes, that's where energy goes. Facebook makes most of its money from having your attention. So that's why they changed the name to Meta. Mark Zuckerberg said, Metaverse is about living inside an experience rather than viewing it from a screen. But I think it's much more than that. I think Metaverse is a moment in time. In artificial intelligence, you have this idea of the singularity. Singularity is the moment in time when artificial intelligence becomes stronger than human intelligence. Metaverse is similarly a moment in time when our digital lives matter more to us than our physical lives. So now we are eventually moving into a world where the digital life will eventually matter far more into the physical. And this is not an overnight change. It's not by an invention by Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg. This is a gradual change that's been happening for 20 years. Every important part of our life is going digital, from work, from factories to laptops, boardrooms to Zoom calls, friends, from neighbors to followers. Where do you find like-minded people today? You find them on Tinder, you find them on Twitter. Games, more kids play Fortnite than basketball and football combined. I'll touch upon this a little bit later. Identities, filters are the new makeup. Instagram stories are your personal billboard to the world. What matters more, how you look like in your real life or how you look like on Instagram? And for most people, it's the second one. So as everything goes digital, so do your crypto asset. Your crypto assets also go, with crypto, your assets also become digital. And Bored Apes are the new Rolexes. Fortnite skins are the new skinny jeans. As everyone hangs out online, your flexes also need to be digital. You play this forward another 10, 20 years, and you see that we are stepping into the metaverse. What's happening is our attention is being sucked from the physical world and moved to the digital world. Originally, we had 99% of our attention on the physical environment. As TVs came along, our attention got down. We started 80% of the physical environment. As computers came around, we started spending more and more time staring at a screen. Our attention came down to 60% in the physical world. With phones now, it's almost half the time we're looking at the screen all day. It still takes some effort to actually take your phone out of the pocket and look at it. I was using the Google Glass in 2012. It was too early for its time. But with the Google Glass, I had a screen in front of my eye 90% of the time. So there's only a matter of time when a company like Apple or Google comes out with the smart glasses that has a screen in front of your eyes the whole time. So 90% of your attention is on the digital world. And where attention goes, that's where energy flows, right? So now you may ask, is this a bad thing or is this a good thing? Like most things in life, it's just a thing, right? It's like talking about the internet 20 years ago when most people used to call it the information superhighway or the cyberspace. Now, it's accepted part of our life. And I think the same happens with Metaverse as we start having more adoption. Me personally, if you ask, I'm not the target user of the Metaverse. I don't see myself spending a lot of time on the Metaverse because I love my life. I enjoy my real life. I go and spend time outside. But I'm also blessed and fortunate to be able to do that, and I understand that really well. Most people do not have this opportunity. We come from a country like India, where there's over 500 million people who make less than a few $100s every month. These people do not have the opportunity to go and enjoy the same lifestyle that you would probably have the opportunity to do. I was just last month in Miami visiting my friend Romero Brito. He has the largest art gallery in the world. But to go to his art gallery, you have to be his private client. So that takes away most of the world. They cannot access the largest art gallery in the world unless you're a private client of Romero Brito. But Romero Brito is also building the largest art gallery in the Metaverse. To access that largest art gallery in the Metaverse, all you need to is hold an NFT ticket of his, which is like a few bucks. So this opens up access to every single individual around the world. You could sit in your home and access Brito's Metaverse gallery with the tap of a button without having to build a relationship or spend thousands of dollars with him. And that's where the Metaverse opens up opportunities for a large part of the world. The next big part of Metaverse is play-to-earn gaming. So play-to-earn gaming is exactly what it means. It means with games where you get paid to play. Now this is actually a huge evolution of how gaming has happened in the past. Moving from before, the games are all controlled by developers. It's a very centralized ecosystem. If you guys play games, you may play games and you realize after a few months or a few years of playing, hey, all this effort I put into the game, I get nothing out of it, right? Now we're moving from a centralized system to a very decentralized system where the games are actually built, the economy is built around the player. So the assets you earn in the game, the skins, the weapons, they're actually tradable as NFTs that you can use and sell in a marketplace in exchange for real value. Users at the center of the economic engine is a very big disruption that's never been seen before. What happens to kids today who are born and are playing games at a young age, but they're earning NFTs that they can cash out for real money at the age of 5? And this is already happening. If you read about examples like Axie Infinity, in Philippines, there's hundreds of thousands of people every single day playing Axie Infinity, earning these in-game assets and selling it off to more rich people so that they could build a living. To make a few $100 in a month in Philippines is a great value. It's much more than their minimum wage. So kids and even 50-year-old grandmas are playing Axie Infinity, earning these in-game assets and selling that to more influential people in Europe or in the US, and they're building an income that way. So you're already seeing this huge exchange of value that's been built around the user, and the user has massive potential. And this is happening at a very, very large scale in many different countries around the world. There's different examples of the games, Sandbox, Splinternet, Step Hero, Polka Fantasy. I advise a few of these companies, and they have all built really massive communities around themselves by allowing people to play games and earn money. So the way you see this is, right, so what is happening right now in the world? The new world order is very different than what we are used to. And this is very new. You guys have probably already heard about Bitcoin and Ethereum. How many of you hold crypto here? How many have actually messed with crypto? So quite a few hands. So for those who have not, you should move in today. So Bitcoin and Ethereum has already made so much impact in the world that it's mind-blowing. The world that we're going to live in the future is going to be controlled by these DAOs. It's going to be controlled by decentralized autonomous organizations which are run by code over humans. And that's what this technology is enabled. I was in El Salvador about 2-3 weeks ago, and in that country, Bitcoin is already legal tender. So you can go in, pay your visa fees with Bitcoin. I paid my hotel with Bitcoin. I paid for my lunch, dinner, everything with Bitcoin. So there's massive adoption coming. And as the adoption comes, the earlier you are on the curve, the more upside you have to grow. My reason to be here today is to expose you guys to the opportunity that this industry provides and how you can also play a major role in this and how you can also build companies and build systems that would also benefit this. To give you an idea of how I see the world in the future and how I see the tokenized world of the future, think about this. Right now, if anybody asks here, what's the best car to buy? Most of your friends will say buy a Rolls Royce or buy a Lamborghini or buy something like a Ferrari, right? But what if BMW and Audi come out with their coin? So tomorrow I buy a bunch of BMW coins and she buys a bunch of Audi coins. Now next you come and ask us what's the best car to buy, I would if I'm a coin holder, I get a small part of the revenue of what BMW makes, and they get a small part of revenue of what Audi makes. So next time if you ask them, I'm going to say buy a BMW. She's going to say buy an Audi. Doesn't matter if we own the car or no, but we are actually part of the ecosystem. We feel as we're part of the ecosystem, and we get a small claim of the revenue that the companies make. So the next step in this is when you actually align the incentives of the user and the manager. Right now in businesses, what happens is there's 3 stakeholders of the user of the business, the manager of the business, and the owner of the business. Have all very different incentives. The user wants the best product, the manager wants to keep the user and the owner happy, the owner wants to make the most money. But when you bring in tokenization, you make the user a part owner and a part manager. That's when you align incentives, and that's possible thanks to the power of cryptocurrencies. The next step in this would be, let's say BMW makes $10 billion a year, but they ask the token holders, what do we invest this money in? Right now, the decision is made by a few people in the boardroom. In the future, it's going to be made by all the token holders, and that's what a DAO really is, where the token holders decide together how a company grows. Aligning incentives allows for exponential growth that is not seen in the business of today because the incentives are misaligned. And that's what cryptocurrencies give you. Thank you guys. My name is Evan Luthra. You can follow me here for more information. If you have any ideas or if you want to build any businesses, please feel free to reach out. I'm looking for more opportunities. All the best. To the moon. Thank you guys.